Hey everyone, welcome to another Anime Kingdom discussion and review. This one is on episode 4 of AntiMagic Academy 35th Test Platoon. And this episode, it's really kind of the conclusion to, Mari's, what's pretty much going on with her and everything, and her past and all that kind of stuff. And pretty much what goes on is they're having, their fight against in the tournament kind of thing. And to anyone who didn't like that tournament kind of stuff that they have in all magic school shows, well, guess what? They cut into it anyway, so it's not there. Pretty much they were fighting, and all of a sudden, boom, here comes, the Necromancer guy, and Haunted, I think his name is, yeah, Haunted from Valhalla. So Valhalla is actually a group, and he's not even the leader, he's getting orders from higher up kind of thing. And pretty much what happens in this episode is he's pretty much there to take back Mari, and what goes on, it is pretty interesting. We find out Mari is actually doing this because of she used to be like at a church with all these orphans, and all of a sudden everyone got killed. This is also where she got taught that magic could be used for good by a nun who's actually a witch as well, so that was pretty interesting. And she's been doing this because she thought the orphans were alive the whole time. Turns out they're not, and what's going on is pretty much she heard him on a phone. But what was going on is that he's a necromancer, obviously, so he brought him back to the, from the dead, and that's how he's been tricking her and everything. So, yeah, we see her trying to really figure out herself and everything in this episode with the help of, Takadu really trying to tell her, it doesn't matter, atone for yourself, all this kind of stuff. He had a really nice speech. Oka also came and helped in the end by pretty much getting, telling, what she found out and everything. She really went to delve more into it. I thought it was going to be her pretty much accusing her and hating her and everything, but she actually went, looked for evidence, found out that, Mari wasn't the killer and everything. It wasn't her fault, and that she was unjustly arrested and everything. And she pretty much told her dad, that she wanted him to do something for her since, that was unruly, unjustly arrested and everything, all this kind of stuff. So she got her to pretty much stop the collar from exploding and allowing her to also stay in the school. Later on we find out in the episode. And yeah, when she was like going to use her magic and to stop and help Takadu, but knowing that she would die, but in the end she didn't end up dying. I'm pretty sure that Oka's dad is pretty much, this was his plan all along, to be honest. We get to see, I was thinking it was gonna be a lot better, to be honest, and the fight between Takadu and Haunted would be like a cool sword fight that they have, since we find out that witch hunters, they're not the only one with kind of like relic eater kind of things. They have the witches have these things that make pretty much their heroes, they become heroes. And this guy had like a Norse god or Norse hero kind of sword from a Norse hero. I'm not too sure who that is. I don't really know that much of Norse mythology and everything, all that kind of stuff. But it was pretty interesting seeing the fight. It could have been a lot better, like I said before. It was still pretty cool, but like I wanted like ching ching, like crazy sword fighting and everything, but it wasn't really as much of that. It was more based on Mari showing, gain her, believing on who she is and everything, on what she's gonna do, protect Takadu and everything. And Oka saying, if you want to show me that magic can help people, help Takadu and everything. And you can kind of see in this episode Oka and Mari's relationship has gotten a lot better. They are kind of friends, obviously, but they still don't like each other in a way. Obviously, mostly a big reason is Takadu, and just because that's just who they are, so they still fight and mess with each other in the end of the episode and everything. But what happens is she shoots out her ability, and you think it's gonna be like she's gonna take him out, but actually what Lapis she's good at is taking magic into her own, and she uses Mari's magic to be able to beat what's it called, Haunted sword. And without that, Takadu had some pretty interesting ways that he can change the shape of the sword. That's pretty interesting. He changed it from a long sword to a short sword to a two-handed sword, and I want to see a little bit more of that, but it was still pretty cool in the end seeing him fight and everything. And Haunted does get away and ends up knowing who Takadu's family is. It's like a family of witch hunters and everything, and he's like, oh wait, how do you know that? And he disappears, obviously. So we'll probably learn more about Takadu's family and everything like that. Another thing that was weird was how he was like, "Oh, what's your name?" And I'm like, "Dude, are you kidding me?" He literally said Kusanagi style, blah blah blah, Takadu like a billion times. Like, come on, you gotta know that's his name, you know. But overall, it was a pretty good episode. A good episode to show the relationship evolving between Takadu and Mari. Mari fighting her past and starting to atone, and she is now with them. Oka fighting her, you know, she always just wants to kill all witches, but now you can see that she's Takadu has changed her a little, and she's definitely has a different point of view, and she's giving Mari a chance and all this kind of stuff. And you really see all the characters, well, those three characters. I don't really know how Usagi and Suginami are main characters, but they had a little part in this, but it was barely much really. So I still don't know how they're main characters unless they're gonna show more on them later. But we do see a lot of character development with Takadu, Mari, and Oka. Lapiz, it was interesting to see her. Good to see her again. Not really see her, it was just her, you know, talking and everything. I kind of wish they would delve more into her storyline too, maybe in the next episodes and stuff. But yeah, that's all I really got to say about this episode. It was really just based on Mari, Oka, and Takadu's kind of character developments going into this, and you know, Haunted leaving on a note that it's possibility that something's going on with Takadu's family. So we'll learn that later on as well. And pretty much, yeah, that's all I really got to say, guys. So hope you guys enjoyed this Anime Kingdom discussion review. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below. If there's anything I missed and you want to talk about, comment below as well. And until next time, guys, see ya.